very, very interesting topic. Yes. Because we recommend whole food, and we are an advocate of whole food, and we started a revolution of whole food.
Absolutely.
And we hope everyone will join our revolution. And there was a specific topic that came out when we were talking about whole food, which is gluten.
Yes.
Obviously, wheat is a whole food. So it's better than eating, junk food or eating. But we want to talk a little bit about gluten today, so you can understand how this goes into the whole thing.
So definitely, yes. So gluten is a protein found in wheat. Okay, and some people are people who have celiac disease cannot eat this gluten at all. There's a product in gluten called gliadin, which is a protein in gluten. When it's broken down, that can be very, some people are very intolerant to this, and this is celiac disease. People get really bad symptoms of gut symptoms, weight loss, bloating. They just become very, very unwell if they have celiac disease. But the interesting thing is, it's not only people who have celiac disease that are intolerant to gluten. There's a group of people, and quite a lot of people actually, who can't tolerate even small amounts of gluten. They don't get as unwell as with celiac disease, but they do get the symptoms.
I think the difference between celiac or people that has intolerance is how fast the body reacts.
Yeah,
so in
absolutely.
Celiac, you just eat something, and then people basically say, oh, straight away go to the toilet, everything comes out.
Yeah,
which is like, I mean, seriously, they need to be attached to the toilet if they eat. And intolerance is something that builds up.
And they can have a little bit.
Yes, like chili.
You can have a little bit and get away with it. Where that level is, nobody knows. But you can't probably have multiple days of having a sandwich or whatever, because that will make you ill. That's the intolerance.
Yes, intolerance means that the body is struggling to digest, struggling. So it's like it's a burden and a burden and a burden until the gut is not able to do its job.
Yeah. So there's something particularly important about gluten, though. Why is it that we are saying at Whole Food Revolution, and we know that in a lot of low carb advocates also suggest that we need to keep away from gluten, okay, because it is toxic to the gut. So it is a whole food, but this element, it is toxic to the gut. So what happens, gluten is what we call a lectin. A lectin is a plant toxin, and it binds to certain parts of the lining of our gut, the cells, the epithelial cells that line our gut. It binds to those cells, and it can damage those cells. And what it actually does is the gut, the cells that line our gut are very tight. They are held together by these tight junctions. But what gluten does is it damages those tight junctions. So those junctions aren't tight anymore. So then you've got space in between these cells, which cause things, so bacteria, toxic products to
How does it call when people have pockets in their gut, and then there's a lot of stuff that stays in there?
Diverticuli.
Is that
no? But this is nothing to do with that.
Okay.
This is to do with the lining itself. That is a barrier, is now compromised, and the barrier function. So there's now that
no barrier.
There's that the barrier.
It's like
function.
It's a shield, but no it's open.
So gluten allows that to happen. So then what happens is that when you've got these toxic or these foreign substances that aren't meant to be in the body leaking in through the gut, through this epithelial layer into the bloodstream, that activates the immune system.
Is that why it's called leaky gut?
Yes.
Okay.
So that's leaky gut.
So do you understand what's leaking? It's like it opens.
Yes.
And then it goes in there, and then it leaks into the bloodstream.
Yes.
So meaning that your bloodstream doesn't have a shield. against those lectins?
Yes, the body doesn't have a shield anymore. Not just lectins, it's anything that, so if we accidentally ingest some kind of a toxin
or breathe the air and it has chemicals in there?
No, this is from the gut.
Oh,
this is from
only
the gut.
from what we're eating.
From the gut. So then this induces an autoimmune response, because this is stuff now in the blood that we're not meant to have. These are foreign substances.
I see.
So now this induces an autoimmune response or an immune response, and over time this can cause autoimmune diseases. And we now know that majority of autoimmune disease starts in the gut. Okay, and the most common autoimmune diseases associated with gluten are Hashimoto's thyroiditis. So this is a thyroid condition where you get antibodies that fight the thyroid gland, and type 1 diabetes. Type 1 diabetes is where you get antibodies fighting the cells within the pancreas that secrete insulin. So, and there has been studies to show that people who are diagnosed with type 1 diabetes, if they stop or eliminate gluten from their diet, they improve significantly. Their prognosis improves, their need for insulin levels reduces.
So if you don't want this thing, you can prevent it from happening.
Absolutely. And so gluten is a lectin. It is damaging to the lining of our gut. It triggers a leaky gut.
So I want you to understand what you mean about plant poison. So plants needed to protect themselves somehow. So that's how they created the lectin, so no one would eat them.
Yes,
because they can survive. So
so not everybody who has gluten has these problems, and so you might ask, well, why is that? And some of it is genetic susceptibility. You know, if your parents had, or you know, the genes that you've inherited from your parents. Some are to do with the gut microbiome itself, the gut, the little organisms that live and protect your gut, or can cause damage to your gut as well. So that's a very individual thing.
I'm sure you've heard that. The truth is that most of us cannot just eat it as much as we want. It's like really, most of us need to be careful about it. Now, I want you to know several things on top of it. First, the reason we say cut the gluten, one is because of the lectin. The other reason is because it's high in carb.
Yes,
like seriously, like why would you waste all your carb allowance for the day on
a wheat product?
On a wheat product that, by the way, high carb, increase your insulin. It's like seriously, doesn't even make you feel full for a long time. The other reason is that we know a lot of research connects this gluten and mental health. Okay, now we don't want to go into this thing, but Google is your friend, so go Google. Just Google the connection between gluten and mental health. Just Google it, just put video, and then you'll get so many videos talking about the connection between them. There's a lot of people that are doing this low carb lifestyle that this is one of the things that they write down. I did it for different reasons, but my mood has changed. People stop taking antidepressants.
Yeah, absolutely.
So
yes,
try it. Okay, just Google it. It's going.
But we also want to say then what people do is when we talk about cutting out the gluten, people then say, or you know, because they then
gluten-free.
Yes,
let's go to the gluten-free world.
Yes. And then what they do is they would go to the supermarket and buy things like gluten-free bread, and because, you know, yeah, people do like to have their breads. So we looked at a few of these products, and so I've just got a couple of examples. So this is Woolies gluten-free bread.
So
okay,
yeah, we know that you naturally say, okay, I'm going to cut the gluten, I'm going to go for the gluten-free. However, we want you to be careful about this, because the gluten-free products have things that are that's going to defeat the purpose of you doing low carb, because they add things that makes it very high carb.
Yes.
So, for example, the product that you've just seen, what do we have the information about this thing?
Oh, I mean, firstly, ingredients, the ingredients, there are so many numbers, chemicals in this product. There are 3 numbers, and there's canola oil, which is a seed oil, which really we should try to avoid.
Yes, it's another poison. So.
Yes, and so in terms of, we were talking about carbohydrates. So in this, in the quantity per 100 grams, there is 45.8 grams of carbohydrate. So I mean, that's just the
what
fact.
What do you mean?
That
how many pieces of bread is that? You just finished the whole allowance for the day.
Yes.
Why would you do that?
Yes.
Seriously.
So that's basically 1.5, because quantity per serving is 35.7 grams of carbohydrates.
It's too much. The truth is that you're not doing something to destroy something else. Okay.
Yes.
So if you cut the gluten, if you go to real food, it's like vegetables, proteins, you will be fine.
Yes.
So swap it with those things. If you do want to go and Google,
there are
breads,
so many breads.
Yes, breads.
And we have on our website, on our Facebook page, we have so many recipes for low carb breads that are made from nut flours, which are a lot less of the carbohydrate.
Yes. Oh, look. I know that almond flour has some lectin in it.
Yeah,
so
yes.
when we're not saying it's not the same, by the way.
Yes.
It's not the same. It's much less. But coconut flour.
Yeah, that's right.
There's so many recipes with coconut flour, which you can do really
and they're
easily.
so easy. And the other, I just want to show you one more, and this is a pizza base. That's another Woolies gluten-free pizza base. And again, this is so potato starch, maize starch.
So potato starch, carbs.
Rice
flour, carbs.
Sunflower oil,
which is poisonous oil.
Yes. Sugar. Then modified maize starch, thickener.
Corn thickener, starch.
Rice syrup. So there's and the same.
It basically has more starch than
the original product.
The original product. Honestly.
And carbohydrates per 100 grams is 47.
That's
grams.
A lot. It's too much. It's what you can eat. Like honestly, if you take vegetables and proteins, you can eat that much, and you're not going to get to that amount. Honestly, you can eat a whole day, and you're not going to get to that amount. Well, why would you do that?
So I think the message is that for everybody, it's worth keeping away from gluten, because at some level, as Ronit said, it is going to be toxic.
Well, the thing, also another thing I want to tell you, if you ever go to a naturopath, honestly, if you ever decide to go to a naturopath, the naturopath will always start with one of 3 of those things: cut sugar, cut dairy, cut gluten. So seriously, if you do have any health issues, you don't need to go to the doctor at all. You can try them. Try them. Say, okay, for 3 weeks I'm cutting this thing. For 3 weeks I'm cutting dairy. For 3 weeks I'm cutting. And by the way, if it's not this one for you, move to the next one. But you need to learn your body. One of those 3 things will definitely improve what is happening to you.
But it's worth really considering cutting out gluten because of the damage it can cause to the intestine. I think that is really important. We are only just now learning about leaky gut and the significance of it. And we'll probably do a few more videos on it over time.
You've heard about leaky gut. I'm sure a lot of people heard about what leaky gut is. And now you know what it is. And your gut health is very, very important, because your gut is our second brain.
Absolutely.
It's our second brain.
Yes.
So there's so many things happening in the gut. We were just having a session a long time ago talking about the insulin is influenced by the gut bacteria. It's like there's so many things that are influenced by it.
And this week on our online program, that's what we're going to talk about our gut health. So that's But so very, very important.
So remember, gluten is Be careful about gluten because it will take all your allowance. Not a very good contributor, so that's actually a bad contributor to your mental health. So cut it down. And when you see this beautiful slogan, gluten-free,
just be careful.
Check
Yes,
it.
yes.
Check it. To see how many numbers it has. The more numbers, the less whole food it is.
Yeah, absolutely.
And
so just all right. Well, hope you've enjoyed that, and if you have any questions, just put them in the comments, and we'll try our best to answer them.
Have a wonderful day.
Okay, bye. Bye.